Alright, so I decided to make this video. This is a TCL 65-inch TV. Data manufacturer is 2016, I believe it was. 2016, 2018. It was hard to see. This is the fourth time I've had to open this up because the backlights go out. In November 2022, I actually bought the complete kit from Shopjimmy. Paid quite a bit of money for them. Barely got a year and a half out of this. Here's the actual tag of the back. But I barely got a year and a half out of their lights. They're supposed to be top quality LED strips. So November, I replaced all the strips in this thing. And then in, I'm going to say June or July of 2024, barely a year and a half goes by, the backlights go out. I basically let it set for a few months before I finally tore it apart, so I finally did that. Luckily I saved the old strip lights. One bulb on one of Shopjimmy's strips was bad, so I replaced it with one of the original strips. A month or two goes by, lights went out again. I'll show their product strips in a little bit, but so I used my tester, and I actually did a review on this tester back in, I think it was 22, when I originally started to do the TV repairs on these backlights. I tested two of their strips, one bulb in each strip went bad. So I put two of the old original strips back in. Well, I got another, probably a month, maybe a little over a month. I can't remember. The girlfriend was in Montana at the time when the TV went out, so I fixed it again. So this is actually the fourth time that I am doing this repair. You can see power board actually is clean and looks perfect. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the caps. Those diodes look good. These big caps look good. So I'm actually going to call Shopjimmy tomorrow and give them a piece of my mind. And they're going to try to say, oh, the voltage values are out of whack. Yeah, no they're not, because I've actually tested this stuff. There's nothing wrong with them. The T-con board. And then the main board. It's the Wi-Fi unit there. So I've already got the back off. It's just as simple as removing some of the screws. When you do some of these screws, you've seen others, you know, they got different heads. Most of your internals are the silver colored screws. Can't really mess them up. I use magnets to separate the screws. The hardest screws is the trim screws. So like you can see, this screw here, the head looks fine. I've actually had about 6 of them that I actually had to take a Dremel and slide it for straight. So basically all the way up this side, and it looks like up to here. So I got 2, 4, 6 or 8 screws that I actually had to slot. No big deal. It's hidden. It's not like it does any cosmetic looks or damage to it. So now I'm going to got to remove these, and then the screws that holds these on for the LCD circuit board, which are underneath, and then move all the frames. I'm not going to really show me doing it. I'm going to wait more till I get to the screen and the diffuser panels out, so I can flip it over to the LED lights, so we can see which Shopjimmy lights have went out again. So I'm going to pause it while I do all this, and I'll just splice the videos together so you can see. So this is, I guess, part one. Alright, I almost forgot what I was doing. I got all the diffusers and the LCD screen off, the trim pieces, which there's two sets, one for the LCD, and then you got the other pieces, just, I guess, I don't know, soft plastic rubberish type piece that clips here. If you watched any of the other videos on TV repair, you'll see some of them are like that. Samsung's are a little different, but I tested these. I forgot what I was doing because I was just trying to get this done, but I'm gonna go ahead and go back. I already know which one it is. It's this one here that I already marked, but I can show you on here. These MPEGs are Shopjimmys. These other kind, you can tell they're different. Some got that reinforcement tape on it with the code things, and you can see which ones I replaced. As I already got two of these in here. This one and the one next to it is the original OEMs, because I had to replace two of them already. So we'll go ahead and test these, and you can see it's basically plus and minus on these things to get them to light up. So you can see all in my meter here shows the voltage for each strip. It's going to be plus or minus, I don't know, point something voltage. But try to shoot. It's been on there long enough. It's going to give whatever full voltage these strips can take, I suppose. At least that's my understanding. So then we can go to the next one. On these OEMs, anywhere there's that copper looking writing, those are all the negatives. So you can actually find a positive, which it's usually right next to, there's a dot in that, and that there's a positive. So if I put my probe on one of them, I can touch anywhere there is this writing. It does the same thing. So we see that strip's good. Like I say, this is an OEM, so it's running about a 44.1, 44.2 volts for that whole strip, which it's pretty close to the other one. The other one was, what did I say, 44.5, 44.6, something like that. So then we can do this next one, and this is a Shopjimmy. It's the MPEG, and it has the different. So all them. So we're 44.5, 44.6. It does somewhat go up to 7, but that's kind of debatable on what it's actually doing. So then I go to the one that I already discovered, which was bad. Let me switch probe hands. So if I go plus and negative, it won't light up at all. So if I go to the next one and see what happens. go all the way down here. The very dot at the very end, so all of them light up. So if I go back to this first one, well, it's lighting up now. It wasn't. So we're at 43.1, 43.2, which is low. This first one was not lighting up before. It wouldn't do anything. Let's see. 3.4. 3.3. See, it keeps jumping around, which means there's a short. If you actually look, it's going in and out. So let's see what this one does. 5.2 is what the voltage on that one is. 5.2. So this is the one that was giving problems. Because initially it didn't light up. You see it somewhat fades in and out. It's jumping around, which means it's, that one took the whole system out. That's why I marked it. But like I said before, it wouldn't light up on me. So I've got one of the older strips. Let's see which one. I think this one here. So I think this one was good from the original. Just have to test it. It's bent, but it's aluminum, so it can easily be bent back. And these things here, I'll just put a little dab of super glue, hardly any, in each one of these little spots. And then I'll put this in there. It basically centers itself in those divots. Those 4 divots. It feels like glue or something, but when you pull them up, they do pop off. That's why they look like they do. But let's test this one, because I know I've got 1 or 2 others that were bad that I did mark of the OEM. So let's see what happens. Oh, I forgot to turn that on, didn't I? Alright, let's let it do its thing. Alright, it's set up for 300 volts DC. So all of these light up. And we're in the 44 volt range. So let's see what is a 5.2. 5.2. 5.2. And it's borderline 5.1, 5.2, so that one's still good. 5.2. You have 5.2 there. You have 5.2 on that one. And the last one, we're 5.2. So that's the one we're gonna replace with. So I've used these on regular LED strip lights. Anything that's got an LED, you could test any LED in it. It came in handy. I've tested on to power airplane LED lights and a few other things, even a shop light. I thought maybe I had a strip go bad, but it turned out I blew part of the circuit on the strip, so it was easily enough to fix. But this, because of that light, that one's showing the way it is, and it took the TV out. I tried resetting power and everything, still wouldn't come back on, so I'm not chancing to keep that. Later on, I'm gonna plan on trying to swap out just single LEDs. I'll use a heat gun. They sell the heat pads for doing such a thing on Amazon, but before I go spending the money, I'm going to try it. So now I've got these three are Shopjimmys that have went bad. One of these has two bulbs bad on it. I don't remember which one. Could be this one. The way it's marked, it's got two lines on it instead of X, so it could be this one and this one. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna call them tomorrow and see what they say, because it's ridiculous. You spend twice as much for Shopjimmy and the quality just isn't worth it. So I need to go get, this is almost like a silicone on the back, but I'm gonna take a razor blade, scrape this stuff off, and get it straight, make sure these things ain't popping off. So you don't want to be putting a TV up and one of them things fall out. I don't know what it would look like if one of these fell off. It probably would throw a fuzzy looking light looking, on the TV, make it look blurry or something, I would imagine. I don't know, but it's not worth the hassle just to spend a few minutes checking it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn the camera off when I do that. It's no big deal. It's just a matter of scraping this stuff off and putting double-sided tape on the back. It's real thin stuff. And when I put these back down, there's nubs. Two sets of nubs, or two nubs on each one, that fits in these holes. And that's basically your straight alignment. So when I put the double-sided tape on the back, I'll peel it part way up. I'll set it in, line that hole up. Then I'll peel the rest of my tape off, and I can set it down. So we'll be back in a bit. Alright, so I got these, I don't know if they're called reflectors or what, these that go over to LEDs. I got the, what was it, 3 or 4 of them glued back on, and the double-sided tape that put in. Now I'm doing a full test, which you test half the lights at a time, because that's the way they are plugged into the power board. When they get voltage, these 3 sets work, and then these 3 sets are on the second. So we're gonna do 3 sets at a time. It's kind of hard down here trying to do this. I ain't got much room to get in here, so it's alright. There we go. So we're at, if I can keep it held steady, it's like 134 volts on that side. Alright, let me try to get to the other side. It's tight because the wire is short down under here. Let's see. Alright, so, alright, there we go. So it looks like we're at 134 volts on this side, so their voltage is pretty equal on them. So we're good on that. So now I can start putting diffuser and stuff back on. Samantha's helping me on this one like she did years ago on some of the others. So if you can see, I got tape on the corners to keep the two panels together. Most of your videos show usually 3 panels, but there's only 2. Oh, looks like the tape come off. So that didn't hold. I tried to only put it on just the corners. That way there's no tape residue. If there's any on here, it's a son of a gun to wipe anything off because it leaves streak marks or whatever. But I guess I didn't have my tape very good, and it is pulled out because I only did 2 corners instead of 4 corners like most of them show doing. I wear gloves for this simply because the oil residues and stuff from your fingers. So I put gloves on for this step because I learned the hard way trying to do this. So I'm gonna have to be careful when I do this. It's not gonna go as easy as it did before because the panels came apart. And it looks like there's cat hair on it too. And they do somewhat scratch fairly easy, so you gotta kind of be careful when you're doing this. Trying to line it up and keep it tight, pulled apart if you can. What the heck? I got this backwards. How the heck did I do that? Oh crap. Let me put it back down. I'm not sure how I did that. I have no idea how I had that backwards because it only fits one way. That's totally weird. I'm not sure how I managed to do that. Had it mixed up. I basically pulled it off, set it down the way I had it. Somehow it was upside down, I don't know. But it's back in. There is three pieces to this. The thick and then two short pieces. There's 2 pieces right here. Don't know exactly what they do, but I guess they do something with the coloration of the light or something. So that's back on. Now I got to put the side pieces on. So I believe the strips, top strips first, and then bottom. They just clip in. Is all that they do. And for whatever reason, I don't know, they got strips of tape that go on here too. I don't know why. I suppose keep these things from falling off. That's the only thing I can figure. But these side pieces ain't supposed to go on until after, or we're supposed to go on before the end pieces. But it's no big deal to come back on. This black plastic, this tape plastic stuff, it's supposed to protect the edge of the LCD screen. See, I just lift that corner up and clips it right on, no problem. Let me put this side on. See, I just lift the edge up, slide it under. We've got cats. I don't know if you've seen them. You've seen the outside ones when I was doing my boat videos, but I got the inside cats. We got a cat here, but I just kind of blow it off before, and you got to be careful wiping your hands on these diffuser screens. So like I say, they print and smear real easy. They don't necessarily show when you're watching the TV itself, but I'm sure if it's bad enough, you'll be able to see it. Because I've noticed a couple scratches the last time I was doing this. A couple scratches in the panel itself, right here. I'm not even sure how that even happened. And there's a small scuff here. Could be from the first time I ever done this, but it doesn't show. And of course I need to make sure there's no cat hair. I don't see any. I think everything's clean. That's why I got the sheet on the back of this, the LCD panel, to keep the cat hair off of, because I don't want to be messing with the back of this thing. Alright, so the LCD panel. And you gotta be super careful, and you don't want to be bowing the center of this. You want to keep even, pull out pressure, and try to set it on the rubber channel. And it can be a real pain because there's like a glue strip about this far in the center that makes it a real pain trying to slide this thing over because it sticks so easy. Yes. Oh shit. When you put these suction cuffs on, try not to put a super lot of pressure, just enough to make it stick. Otherwise you'd be breaking it out. I'm trying to line my corner up. There's a hair bit of play. Alright, so I mean, you can see there's just a little bit of play right here on the corner. For give and take, kind of split the difference on both sides, and you're good. So it should be in. So you crack the screen and you're done. You're not going to want to pay for another LCD screen. It'd be the same price as if not more, of a TV. And I haven't been lucky enough to find another TV, whether it's Samsung, Vizio, to get one to work. I tried a 55-inch curved TV with a standard flat screen like this, and the screen wouldn't power up, so apparently there's different circuitry in them, even though the curved screens are actually flat. So, alright, looks like I'm in on both sides in my buffer zone, so I can get rid of these. I keep these in a plastic bag to keep the hair and dust and everything off of them. You can get these suction cups off of Amazon too. I bought these from Shopjimmy when I could have bought everything off of Amazon for cheaper. But suction cups, you have to have them. Alright, so and the tape on your panel circuit boards, basically, let me lose these gloves. Basically use a long piece and leave it loose, because you don't want to over tighten, and this tape is stuck pretty good to these, and I barely even touched them on it. Because if you stick it too hard on these, you screw them up, the whole TV's done. You can't replace them. Alright, so then these get folded down, and they will get clipped in. I'll clip them in. Cat hair or whatever on the front, it doesn't matter. I forgot to even a month and a half ago, when I already did this lights thing before, I forgot to wipe the screen off, so when the TV wasn't on, you could see the suction cup rings. So let me somewhat clip. I'm gonna have to wait on that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait on that, but I'm gonna get the top trim put on. This will stay off. That's exactly how we flipped it over. So I put the big piece of trim back on. Watch out, him. Watch out, buddy. So if I put this back on, then we can flip it back over. I'll, because this tape does protect even on the ground strips. Now, basically, put it on like this. This is just how I do it. Other people that don't do it that way. But put it on, and then just kind of slide it on the rest of the way. There we go, clipped in. Alright, so I can actually flip this by myself now, only because of the position it's in. And walk it up and let it down. You want to put is the least amount of pressure on that screen if you're handling it like this. You don't want to stick your hand up under it. there's plastic standoffs in between the lights that actually keep everything from dropping, so no pressure on that. So clip all this in. Pretty basic if you watch the other videos on some of these. And they got this, I think it's static tape, I guess, like a static ground strap. If you notice, this is on backwards. I use it for a standoff when this is upside down, so it doesn't, so there's no pressure at all on those circuit boards. Is why that looked that way. And I could take all the circuit boards off, but it's kind of like, why make things harder? So then I'll plug these in. And you know these are in when the black line is all the way lined up with oh, come on, there we go. See if you can see the line it's even. So when I close this, then you know it's all the way in for sure. Alright, so all that stuff's back in. I'll plug, this is the LED, this is the power board. That's what the LEDs plug in. There's two circuits for it, so that's why one side lit and then the other side lit when I powered it. It's kind of crazy how it actually, everything all goes together where it brightens one strip brighter than another. It's crazy on this technology, on this stuff. So then I'll do these. One board has to go on before the other because the overlapping. So I believe the left side goes on. They only go on one way. There's alignment pins and all that stuff. I'm not going to bore you with that because if you've seen one, you've seen them all. I'll come back once I get all the screws on, everything on the back on, and once it's together, then I'll flip it over and power it back on. So we'll be back in a bit. Alright, I got it all back together. I just plugged it in. I hit the button on the remote and she should be on. I can do this one hand without knocking it off the table. So, yep, there it is. I just gotta hook my Fire TV stick back in because that's the main one I use. I don't care too much for Roku, so that's that. But let me get back down. The whole point of me making this video was to show kind of what I went through 4 times now, changing these things out. And every time since the first time, replacing all the strips, because that's what they say. You're not supposed to just change one of these strips. You're supposed to change them all. And so that's what I did. But since the last 3 times, every time it's been 1 or possibly 2 LEDs on these Shopjimmy strips. you can see the difference between these back three with these code things. Those are OEMs, and these front three are Shopjimmys. So I've got 2 bad bulbs on that one. That was the last time, and 1 dead bulb on these other strips. These 2 strips that you see the X on, that front bulb, and then about the 3rd bulb. So save your money. Don't worry about what they say is quality, because as far as I can see, there's no such thing. They basically tell you what the so-called specs on these bulbs and stuff are when you're supposed to get these things. Is even, let me see, I thought I seen some specs on the OEM, because that's the spec. Where is it? I thought I seen some voltage spec on one of these. Yeah, right there it is. Hold on, bear with me. Let me get it flipped around. It's in the etched. Right there. It's 94, I guess, up to 94 volts per strip is what it can handle. Trying to see what these Shopjimmys, if they say. I'm not seeing any type of voltage information on these. There's those numbers, which those numbers would be, that's the OEM, and those are the Shopjimmys on theirs. So I'm not sure as far as any voltage numbers. But there you have it. Like I said, more of the video is, don't waste your money at Shopjimmy. Just buy your LED backlights off Amazon. I actually did my oldest daughter's mom's 55-inch Samsung. That was one of the older version Samsungs that utilized 2 long LED strips at the top of the TV. Basically, I don't recommend repairing one of them, because the diffuser plates burn and break in half, and that's exactly what happened when I did hers. But it works, and it still works as far as I know. I haven't heard anything else different, and that was basically 2 years ago or something. So save your money, buy it on Amazon. And like I say, that's the model of my TV. 2018 or something, I thought I seen. Yeah, October 2018. So if I replace the original bulbs in November of 22, so basically 4 years on stock bulbs before they went, and basically I'm still using stock bulbs to replace the so-called good ones that I only got a year and a half on. So write in the comments what you think. Hopefully the video doesn't suck too bad. It's informational purpose only. Any questions, let me know. Later.